Hello students, in today's video we are going to start with module 2, that is amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Now what is the meaning of amalgamation? We already know, so let us just revise. It is a process in which two or more companies close down their business and start a new company. So both these companies lose their existence and form a new company to carry on their business activities. Okay, so we have studied this amalgamation in the previous module as well. So what is that we are going to study in this module? Now while speaking about amalgamation, I told you there are two types of amalgamation. One is in the nature of merger and another is in the nature of purchase. So amalgamation in the nature of merger we have already studied. From now onwards we are going to study amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Now we should know how to differentiate between these two methods, right? Although both the methods are more or less the same, but still there are certain differences in these two methods. Now how to differentiate whether it is amalgamation in the nature of merger or amalgamation in the nature of purchase? For that we will have to once again refer the conditions that we studied for amalgamation in the nature of merger. I just quickly revise this once. So first condition for amalgamation to be in the nature of merger is all the assets and liabilities of the transferor company become the assets and liabilities of transferee after amalgamation. So first condition says that all the assets and liabilities have to be taken over by transferee company. Second condition, not less than 90% of equity shareholders agree to become the shareholders of transferee company. That means more than 90% of shareholders of the transferor company should become the shareholders of transferee company. Next, consideration for the equity shareholders of the transferor company who agrees to become the shareholders of transferee company is discharged wholly through payment by way of issue of equity shares or other securities or a combination of both. Only the fraction of share could be paid by way of cash. So this condition says that the purchase consideration has to be paid in shares only, and only for fraction of shares you can pay cash. Business of the transferor company is intended to be carried out after amalgamation by transferee company. So the business of the transferee company should be same as that of transferor company. Last condition is that no adjustment is intended to be made in the books of assets and liabilities of the transferor company when they are included in the financial statement of transferee company, except to ensure uniformity in the accounting policies. So no adjustments are to be made in the book value of assets and liabilities when they are incorporated in the books of transferee company. So these were the 5 conditions which are required for amalgamation to be in the nature of merger. Now speaking of amalgamation in the nature of purchase, for that if any of these 5 conditions are not satisfied, I repeat, if any of these conditions are not satisfied by the transferee company, then it is said to be amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Now what do I mean by this? I just explain with the help of conditions once again. Now the first condition is saying that all the assets and liabilities should be taken over by transferee company. So for example, if in the problem, if they give you that some asset is not taken over by the company, let us assume that the debtors of the transferor company are not taken over by transferee company. So in this case, the condition of amalgamation is not satisfied. So this will be amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Why? Because a particular asset is not taken over. If all the assets are taken over, then it is amalgamation in the nature of merger. But if one asset is left out, then it is amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Now, for example, second condition, the condition says that more than 90% of equity shareholders should become the shareholders of transferee company. So let us assume that only 50% of shareholders are becoming the shareholders of transferee company. Now in this case also the condition is not fulfilled, then it will be called as amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Similarly, consideration for equity shares, if it is not paid only in equity shares, if it is paid in the form of debentures or in the form of cash or in the form of other shares, maybe preference shares, then also it will be considered as amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Then if one more possibility is that if the book value of assets are not taken, that is if the assets are revalued, if the assets are taken over at new values, if in the problem they give you new values for the asset, then you have to understand that it is amalgamation in the nature of purchase and solve the problem accordingly. See, there is slight variation in the two, you will understand while we solve the problem. So the conclusive point is that if any of these 5 conditions are not satisfied by the transferee company, then we call it as amalgamation in the nature of purchase method. Okay, I hope you have understood the difference between two methods. You will understand it better when we solve the problems. Now there is this simple calculation which you need to remember that we will require for solving the problems. Now this is for calculation of goodwill or capital reserve. Okay, so for this what you have to do is you have to take purchase consideration, from that you have to minus net assets. Okay, so you will get either goodwill or capital reserve. Okay, when we were solving problems in amalgamation in the nature of merger method, whatever was the difference we would consider it as capital profit or capital loss. But in case of amalgamation in the nature of purchase method, we will call it as goodwill or capital reserve. Okay, now see, if the purchase consideration is more than the net asset, that is if the purchase price is more than the value of net assets. Now how to calculate net assets? Net assets is nothing but total assets minus outside liabilities, so you will get net assets. So if the purchase price paid is more than the value of net assets, then it will be goodwill. Okay, but if net assets are more than purchase consideration, then it will be called as capital reserve. I hope you have understood. So you have to remember, if purchase consideration is more than net assets, it will be called as goodwill. But if net assets is more than purchase consideration, then it will be called as capital reserve. Okay, please understand this note. We will require this for solving problems. Okay, with this I conclude for today. Thank you.